Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. I go for refuge in the Buddha. I go for refuge in the Dharma. I go for refuge in the Sangha. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Happy Bodhi Day! So tonight we are, as has been announced, doing our annual Bodhi Day Poetry Slam. And as such, we are going to read our individual poems, and I will call on you in order to keep it moving. So let's just make sure we're recording here, because that would be bad if we didn't. That is rather the point of this. Oh, I already did start recording. Okay, so I told Todd, or Brad rather, because he is up first on my screen in the upper left-hand corner, that he's going to start us off tonight. So, oh, and let me mention once again that bowing or finger clicking is appropriate as a response. So, have at it.
All right. So I dragged out some slightly older pieces here and some new ones. So this goes back a few years. What a strange house this is. No floor, no roof. The walls have disappeared. Nothing but windows. Now that's not quite right either. There's no glass, no frames. Even with eyes closed, there is seeing all around. Flesh spreads out like galaxies in space. Bones are clouds and vapor. Strange though it is, this house begins to feel like home.
Do you have any others for us? Or you want to save them for later?
All right, I'll do a newer one and then save some for later.
Great.
Okay. Weaving particles of mist on an ancient loom. The promise of the garments and convincing disguises continually vanish along with the empty fabric. A blazing sun splits the vault of heaven. Both loom and mist evaporate. Death? No, not at all. The heart blossoms open, naked, new, and sun-soaked.
Excellent. Very good, sir. Next one we have in my little bunch of squares is Kevin Haysong Sheridan. So have it.
This year I wrote 3. I like to do just one at a time. so that we can give everybody else a chance to go as well. This one I call Tempest Fugit. In silence, we find the truth's embrace beneath the moon's soft glow. In stillness, mind's tumultuous race fades into the gentle flow. Petals fall, rivers flow, echoes of the past. In each moment, seeds we sow, eternity held, fleeting and vast. Mountains high, skies so wide, yet boundless is the soul. In emptiness, all worlds reside. In unity, the fragments whole. Lotus blossoms in a muddy pond, pure amidst the mire. In every heart, enlightenment dawned, beyond all words, all desire. Wind whispers through the bamboo grove, teaching lessons of the wise. In every breath, the truth we rove, in every heart, enlightenment lies.
Excellent. So next up looks to be Reverend Minwee.
Okay, I found my mute button. So I just wrote 3 this year, this season, and they're all very short. So I'll just do them all, and then I can enjoy the rest of your readings. So let's see here. So the first one is the mirror. Looking in the mirror, seeing wrinkles and gray, showing the composition, missing the creation. The next is a short poem I called Math. Life is an exponent. Age is an integer. Wisdom is a sum. Birth and death, just part of the equation. And finally, this house. Rahula, Rahula, j'ai choisi cette maison. You are not my fetter, neither ball and chain, nor shackle and lock. In this house, I see my true self, no self.
That brings us to Robert Coho Epstein, and I promise this time I will finger snap.
Thank you. I have a few medium-sized poems and then some short ones. I'd like to start for this round with a 2-part poem about my cat. It's called Ollie, Asleep Amidst the Plants. Part 1. I didn't want to leave the cat alone, so I took him up to the bedroom with me and petted him for a while. After a while, he jumped over to the plants across the room and went to sleep in his own private forest, amidst the houseplants, surrounded by green leaves, in the land of earthen pots. Part 2. Part 2. Ollie went back to sleep in my poem. He found his long-lost mew, which could only sound in a dream. Faint echo of childhood, the echo of lost cats. This one is a fighter, attacking leaves and chewing on chains. He is one in a lineage of a legacy of cats, understanding instinctively his role, whirling through the night. And when he settles down in the garden with leaves hanging around him like a girl's long hair, he collapses in the ecstasy of sleep, leaving behind the body after running it like a bullet, chasing cloth mice who never make a sound.
All right. We're up to Reverend Hengdahl.
So I just have some short ones here. I think I'll do two this round, and we'll start with this one, which is specifically dedicated for today. I am supposed to write a poem, so here it is, some scribbled words to share. And this one may make more sense when we publish our magazine and you see the picture that inspired it. I was walking around a lake meditating with my mala. Round and round, counting beads, inchworm by inchworm.
Cool. I want to do one by Jinji Sunya, who cannot be with us tonight. And you'll have to, excuse me, apologize because all the poems are over here on this monitor and you guys are over here. So if I fail to make eye contact every now and then, it's because I'm looking over there. I am a Zen monk because I'm drawn to a complete contemplative, meditative practice, calming the bullshit of the mind, living peacefully, comfortable with questions and ambiguity, focused on service, common sense and basic sanity, living in gratitude and curiosity, developing compassion and understanding in order to help cease suffering and confusion with humor and skill. So thank you, Reverend Jinji. And now I'm going to scroll back up the page and give you a couple of mine if the page will ever scroll up there. Other direction page. There we go. It's nice how smooth this is running tonight. I'm impressed myself. Okay, the first one is called Bulbs. Nasturtiums appear straight out of the garbage heap. Unexpected joy. There is another one called Still. The view of the clouds obscured by electronics. Birds are still singing. Which is pretty much my day-to-day existence here, with a window being hidden by monitors and I can hear the birds singing. So how about up to Brad once again?
This is a more recent one. Some folks like the high seats, floating with angels and dragons, far beyond the trembling troubles of ordinary flesh and bone. Me, I'm still just an old grave digger at heart, burying the dead and bringing forth flowers, I love to be startled by the gems among the broken glass and street trash, to blind dive into the ancient swamp where no light shines, and emerge with something nice for both of us. I've never been any good at building and repairs, especially now with fading vision and shaky hands. Deconstruction and demolition seem to be more my gig, undermining the foundations of cathedrals, igniting crystallized conceptualizations until they dissolve like snowflakes in a firestorm.
All right, that brings us up to Hey Sung once again.
I feel like we're playing Hollywood Squares. It's pretty cool. This one's called In the Silence and the Stillness. In the garden of samsara, we wander free. Paths of karma unfold beneath the Bodhi tree. In the stillness of mind, enlightenment's key. Awakening dawns in the present we see. Through cycles of birth, death, and rebirth's flow, illusions dissolve and the truth begins to show. In the dance of impermanence, we come to know, embracing each moment, letting wisdom grow. Like the river's gentle stream, we flow towards the ocean of oneness in which we bestow. In the silence of being, serenity we bestow. In the heart's deep silence, the Dharma we sow. In the depth of night, the stars align, guiding seekers on the paths divine. In the unity of all, the sacred shine. In the stillness within, the divine we enshrine.
Running one of these on a Mac and the other one on Windows is just really counterintuitive, and I may have to rethink this for next year. But like I said, this is our second annual Vesak Poetry Slam. So that means that we've done it previously, and I would think that also implies we'll be doing it again. I'm surprised he's not with us. But Scott Watson did contribute some of his inimitable works. The first one is called Underwear Town. A shabby area, this city's northeast outskirts. Corrugated auto body shops, corrugated warehouse, a yard in which aluminum scaffolding is stacked, mahjong parlor shacks, pachinko. Once there was a truck haphazardly parked. Some drivers sometimes happily ignore stop signs. Weather-beaten vending machines stand each corner's beat. A drab scene, dusty, discarded, very unpoetic. I go there midnight in my underwear for secret relaxation. It's a bird song that makes me happy. And you can't beat Scott. He's a good one. And I don't know why he isn't here tonight. He contributed things to the Google Doc, and he's always here, and tonight he isn't, and I'm going to have a little talking to with him. So, how about, Minwei, you said you're out of them, huh? You wanna improvise, throw down some rhymes, a little freestyle?
I left my M&M at the altar, so yeah, I'll just pass to the next. for the next rapper.
Okay.
It looks like Dr. Dre's ready. Robert?
I already have like 50 poems to get through, so.
Okay, you can do one now. Yeah, you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do two medium length poems. They're medium enough to fit into one serving. This first one is called The Passing of the Moon. The light that's left is bright but eerie after the passing of the daytime moon. It left its mark on our waking dream. The bright light, the dark light, the winnowing sun. During the passage, the day was dusking, dusted with darkening gray and dim. It seemed like a comet might be coming, but it was just the moon enjoying the stage. At times, the moon will pass in the night, and the sun doesn't notice. The sun doesn't care. We sleep right through it, the nine dreamers, and we don't notice that it's right there. The second one is called Petals in the Wind, a celebration of flower petals. Petals in the wind, a beautiful masquerade, seeing the air through a lovely mask, all mixed up like unfettered dancers, creating wild circling shapes in the sparkling sun. Petals in the wind, small pastel petals from the cherry trees, circling the bark in a brown and pink tango, going back and forth with the impulse of the breezes, jumping and gliding like skiers on a rough patch, yet everything beautiful and serene all around them. Turbulence that is as soft and pretty as a baby's pink dress. Petals in the wind.
Okay, and that brings us up to Reverend Hangdal.
Okay, I'll throw two more out here. Up and down that hill, 100 times, 100 times 100. Always the same, always different. A lamp, a beacon, so should we be. Do we see our light?
Thank you for your poetry, Reverend. Brad, do you have another one to throw our way?
I'll do a couple of short ones. Okay. I must have mistakenly gathered a few of last week's moonbeams and unknowingly stuffed them into my pillowcase. In the blood rush of silence, its own ever-present sound, I attuned to the strains of Saturn's rings and distant galaxy arias, pervading the body, suffusing the dark. And then the short one, tripping over the empty space between thought, a stutter of insight that cannot be repeated.
Okay, I'd like to throw out another one of Scott Watson's. It's called Return to Underwear Town. What is it about these dilapidated surroundings, grounded in decrepitude ever more deeply? Is freedom to be just as I am, undressed but for these brief lines, relax to blossom, here in anywhere town, to dandelion wherever I please. Because in a Vesak celebration, you can never have too many poems about underwear. Hey Song, how about you?
Oh, I like underwear. There you go.
It's a short one.
I know. My last one is called The Seeker Finds. Upon the canvas of life, karma paints its hue. In each action, the seeds are strewn. Through the cycle of birth, death, and anew, in the boundless sky of being, we find our true view. In the garden of the mind, thoughts bloom and fade, yet in the stillness within, truth is laid. In the depths of meditation's shade, the seeker finds the path unswayed. Like the river's flow, time drifts by, moments dance beneath and in the sky. In the essence of emptiness, we espy the interconnectedness that underlies. In the silence of the dawn, the world awakes. In the whispers of the wind, truth partakes. In the embrace of impermanence, a heart breaks. Yet in the depths of suffering, awakening takes. In the heart's sanctuary, wisdom's flame burns bright, guiding souls through the darkness of night. In the boundless expanse of insight, the seeker finds liberation, pure and right.
My fingers are being silent tonight, unfortunately, but I really am snapping them.
Do believe you?
There. Closer to the microphone worked. So, since he was so prolific and seems to have a theme, I'm going to throw out another one from Scott Watson. It's called Naked as a Newborn. Naked as a poem would have me, no fear of pickpockets or meaning. Let me throw out one more of his. It's called Untitled. Unentitled too, but untitled. Shallow mind, deep thought, cherry blossom falling. Okay. Hopefully he'll get his cue. Huh?
I have one from Scott.
Oh, do you?
Uh-huh. Master Unsun, he yelled. I see you under there. Under where?
Oh, very good. Kudos to you. You have won the internet.
More of a limerick, really.
No. Venerable Cholsung isn't here this year to give us another one of his monastic.
One from Nantucket, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say about these, the evolution of these poems of Scott's. I'm glad he went from the 2 underwear poems and then he finally lost the underwear. I mean, fantastic, right?
It's emptiness for you.
Very, very freeing.
Streaking in nature.
They say the Buddha was born potty trained, so you know.
Lotus blossoms.
I would have to imagine that Scott probably wasn't and may not be. So that would bring us up to our next contestant, on the Hollywood Squares, Robert Coho Epstein.
I have a whole bunch of very short poems now, very, very, very short. So I'm going to do 4 of them in a row. Very short. The first one is called Sunset, and it's 1 line. Is there a difference between God and a sunset? The second one is called Thought. The thin veneer of thought occasionally drops away, and there it is. The third one, everyone is strong enough to walk the path for a while. It always takes us back to where we're standing. And finally, lifetime. What a lifetime. So much universe in every step, so much seen, so much unseen.
So I am going to throw it over to Reverend Hangdahl if he has any more.
Yeah, so I'll offer another one here. Actually, just kind of threw this together a little bit ago, and it's really because it's Vesak and what that means, and I have a number of people in my life struggling that have been struggling, and so these kind of thoughts swirl around as I contemplate Buddha contemplating suffering. So not sure I'm happy with this one, but here's where we got to between work and now. How do we help those we cannot help? Do they hear us hearing their cries? A dedication, a ringing bell, echoing in the stillness of chaos.
Very Guan Yin of you. Okay, how about we go back up to the top to our friend Brad.
So this one goes back a number of years. It's roughly entitled A Complaint from Retreat. It seems I'm running out of faces to wear, and the letters of any name I choose keep falling into the void. And my skin's not much good either. Sure, most night it keeps out small rodents and glaciers, but galaxies and transport trucks pass right through. And another thing, the soles of my feet keep leaking my identity into the great earth, and I find myself blossoming all over the damn place.
Spoken as only a Canadian would think to about the glaciers. So let's see. Hey, Song, you got another one?
I'm
Nothing,
fresh out.
huh?
Fresh out.
Wow. And Minui is all played out unless he wants to improvise again, which was quite entertaining.
Not yet, but you know, if Robert keeps channeling some Dr. Dre for me, it might come up. So.
Okay. Well, then how about we see what Robert Coho Epstein has for us?
Thank you, Unsan. This is another group of little poems. If I do a few of them, I might finish up my current crop. Let's see how that goes. This is called Flowers. We have a few flower ones here tonight. You don't have to become the flowers all at once. you can start off by just noticing that they're saying hello to you. And the next one, which kind of goes along with it, is called Hello Flowers. Hello, everybody. So many flowers. Hi, bright, bright red. Hi, little greenies. Have a nice day in sunlight. The next one is called Murky. I could see that you couldn't see. I can't see very well myself, feeling my way through the fog with nothing behind it. Murky within as well, and nowhere really to go. So we keep going. And finally, oh, thanks.
No, go ahead.
Should I
Go
do
for it.
one more little one called my hand. I'm looking at my hand. My hand is an object. My hand is aging. Am I aging? Who am I?
Thank you for your poetry. Reverend Hangdahl, got anything else you want to treat us to?
Yeah, I'll toss out one more here. This isn't really a new one. This is a rework of one from a long time ago, maybe right around when we met. Kind of redoing it in honor of a little over a week from now. And we have confused Nipponari for Satori. This transmission is a flowered kimono. Peel back the gold from the altar Buddha. There is nothing within. What does it mean to don a robe?
Who is this that's anonymous? Okay. Somebody else is sharing the document. I'm not sure who it is. I hope it's one of you. Or maybe somebody's adding something in. Who knows? Yep. Don't think so. Well, this should be interesting then. I'm going to do a few in a row. And it's the California suite, because I wrote them all sitting in LAX in California on a layover, which turned into a delayed flight. So I had plenty of time to be inspired. So the first one is entitled California. This is just real life. Not good or bad, just different. California. The next one is a tanka, actually, instead of haikus. The layover was getting longer as we went along. The Buddha was born. The Buddha was awakened. It's what Buddhas do. Planes fly when doors don't fall off. Babies cry when they're hungry. And yes, if you were curious, I was flying Boeing, so all the doors stayed bolted on, and the nose didn't catch fire, which I hear is a thing these days too. This one is called Buddha Bows to Buddha. Buddha is bowing. Buddha finds a rock on the path. He trips, streams are wet. The next one is in honor of the Los Angeles Zen Center, actually, which I didn't get to this time, but someday I will. It's called Chicken or Egg. Zen monks on mountain, their shaved heads abound. Mount Baldy, chicken or egg? The GCLA monastery is on top of Mount Baldy, you see, and and the final one from there is called No Birth, No Death, No Vesak. Headfirst fall in fire. No birth, no death, no big deal. It's really all good. And there is my batch. So, Brad, would you grace us with another one?
So this is a real moldy oldie sent to me from a friend at the Toronto Zen Center from 30 years ago. The generals have fallen on their swords. The soldiers have all deserted. The farmers have scorched the earth, and the peasants have destroyed all architecture. With no one left to rule over, no troops to command, and no enemy in sight, with no ancestors before and no descendants to follow, in this kingdom of growing emptiness, it's no wonder this old tyrant wants to retire.
Let's see, who might have more? Robert, you're always good for a few more.
You know, my daughter popped in and contributed what appears to me to be a very Buddhisty poem. And she read one last year, which didn't get uploaded. I'm going to upload it this time, but I've got a new one. So she's apparently either too shy or too tired to make an appearance, even though she's right over there. But I'm going to, hello, I'm going to read for her.
I guess
Okay, so she's going to read it. Come on in. There it is. It's right here.
I can look
Hey, Emily.
Hi, nice to see you. Sorry, I'm coming in.
I'll hold you up.
Okay.
Or you can sit here.
Yeah.
Or sit here on the edge. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Languid imposture, stretching outside of the boundaries, fitted squarely upon me, moving through waves of joy and pain to get to the final level, surpassing expectations, breaking in the process, discarded pieces of self, like clothing scattered in drawers unnamed, namelessly wandering through the game.
Thank you for your poetry.
And bye-bye.
And make sure that gets uploaded so it can end up in the magazine, okay?
I will do so.
Let's see, I'm looking for another Scott Watson, which there must be one because he is a rather productive individual. There's one. There's let's see, what do we got here? Okay, this is called That's Life. We all make judgments every day, big or small, To do so, we need values. If we trace our values, find what they link back to, we might be surprised to find a life itself which has no values at all. Supposedly, we value life. Why all the destruction? And one more from him. This one's a short one. Hurt by existence. Do nothing. It'll go away. And what would appear to be his last one is also a short one. It's called Keats. Poetry is dead. Who cares? Poetry is alive. Who cares? Who cares is true, and there's beauty in that. Robert, do you have more? You have a mute button.
Yeah, Emily is making a return appearance on my chair.
There was one more that I found from 2015 that I kind of wanted to share. Okay, this one was called Golden Dust. The sun opens its eyes, dusty golden light streaming in through the filter of the sky. Pieces of it race in tear-shaped droplets to the ground. The movement is a sight to see, but the action makes no sound. The birds with wings of silver sift their bodies through the trees, poured over like ice and ground up like coffee. Stray feathers falling from the glass as the only visible trace. Dark birds that wander, the only birds without a face. They swirl through the sky, clapping with the rain. They slow when they see their shadows, gracefully dancing through the pain. The true birds are sleek, strong with a quiet gaze, their eyes glimmering with laughter, love, healing, peace, and praise. I don't really like that last word, but I might change it later.
Thank you, Emily.
Editing is always possible. So is there anything else from the Epstein household?
I can grab something else. I have more, although they're not in the planned page, but if I can take 7 seconds, I can probably find something.
7 seconds is okay. I can speak very slowly and give you the opportunity to find what you are looking for, because that's what we do. We let you find what you're looking for all by yourself.
I don't know if I should read this, but I will. I won't say who it's about. I'm not going to mention the number as it might identify them. So I'm going to say it's called Happy Birthday. Beautiful and happy older birthday. It's both just a number that you've reached and also very special. This life, these years.
Very good. Hangdal, how about you?
You're trying to make me dig through the memory banks while I'm sitting on a park bench with a cell phone in my hands, man. That's a challenge.
Yep. We're all about challenges.
We're all about challenges. Then I will share one of my father's that he emailed me today. How's that? Vesak. Questions during full moon in May. Whence does self arise? Why am I here and whence all the others? Why is being so often other? When we depart, where are we found? What is the light and what is the dark? What is peace and how is it known? How can we be non-dual?
Thank you to Barry. This may not be easy for you to do on the phone sitting on a park bench, but I do have a little bit of a task for you. Let's see. Oh, did you know that there's a cricket player named Melinda Pereira? Apparently a different one. So, Nandal, if you could dig around a little bit and see if you can find any of Melinda's stuff, since apparently she was not feeling inspired at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, see what you can come up with. Brad, back to you.
I've got a couple of three-liners here. This ancient moonlight illuminates 5 mountains, 6 streams flow brightly. That's one. Winter rise and fall, a heart in golden sorrow, snowlight radiant through.
Thank you very much.
I did
Robert,
find. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, what do you got?
I have some poems of Melinda's.
Oh, brilliant. Go for it.
One of them is one I have freestanding, but I have ones from one of her little books that she's published.
Oh.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, go for it.
These are really nice short ones. Beautiful. The Sutra about flowers, taking vows to become fireflies. Bowing empties your mind to the ground, says Master. And okay, one more or two more. Two more. Make a ritual out of a molehill of nothingness. Yeah. In a world where everything is mind, cherry blossoms.
Were you aware that Melinda has some of her poetry posted outside metro stations in DC?
You know, I heard that, but I have not seen them. So I must not take the right metro stations, but I would love to see that.
They may be gone by now. This was
Wonderful to know. That's great.
going back a couple of years. She, yep, she's a real honest to God poet.
I've got to read another one. This is so good. This is Melinda again. Thus have I heard, butterflies with yellow socks.
Oh, cool. Let's see. Can we get another one out of Hengdal?
So I hope I won't get in trouble here. This is one of hers. This is actually a short story kind of thing she wrote that she just shared with me after her trip and retreat. So if I wasn't supposed to share this, she can yell at you. And I'll see if I can move the little window of the Zoom call around and read this without completely losing control. It's called The Cloud Tree. On the way to a mountain was a huge tree that bloomed in the spring. It gave flowers of the softest white with a touch of pink at their ends. What was unusual was the tree could bloom only in one branch every season, and it came to be known as the paralyzed tree. It tried very hard to get flowers in its other places. Sometimes the tree would shed all its leaves, thinking the flowers would come at last, but it could only give flowers to that one branch. The villagers passing by would shake their heads at this, and even the birds would chirp about its eccentricity with each other. One day, an old monk with a staff was passing by and stopped to rest under its shade. The tree watched as he sat down and leaned against its trunk. After drinking some water from his bottle, the monk saw the branch full of flowers. Smiling gently at the blossoms, he took out his mala and started to pray. Calling the names of the Buddhas, the monk started to fill the sky with millions and millions of replicas of the branch bursting with flowers. Folding his hands into a lotus, he then offered them to the holy ones until his eyes glistened with unshed tears. Next spring, the monk started his journey towards the mountain. It was a holy mountain that no one knew of. He was getting old, and he took the usual footpath that the villagers took. There was a shortcut through the forest that he used to travel, but since he was getting old, he decided to take the road that he took last season, which was an easy climb. On his way, he had heard of a cloud tree that the villagers were talking about, and he planned to take rest under it and to have his small lunch that a family had offered him on his way. At the foot of the mountain, he saw it. Its top arose like a cloud trapped between the clusters of treetops, as if it had forgotten to float back into the sky. Once close, he immediately recognized the flowers, the same flowers that managed to quench his fatigue last time. The tree arose proudly, and not a single leaf was there. Spilling with flowers, he caught the sweet fragrance pervading even from a distance. An equal number of flowers were also on the earth, and there were two men who had come to collect wood, resting on the soft bed. They looked as if they were drunk with flowers, and the monk looked on in amazement at the tree that had moved him so much to offer it to the Buddhas in all directions. Up close, it looked magnificent, and a soft wind blew against his face as if in greeting. Bending down to pick up some fresh flowers from both of his hands that fell at his feet, he uttered a prayer and closed his eyes.
And thank you to Melinda for that teaching. So we're winding down. So it's the East Coast, West Coast, or Toronto, DC battle between Brad and Robert as to who has anything left.
I've got another one, but if Brad has one, he can go first.
All right, I'll just do short one. Let us meet at the confluence of the flowing bridge and the unmoving stream.
Robert.
Okay, I was just waiting to hear my name called.
Oh, okay. Waiting for your cue.
Even, it may not be my true name, but I still answer to it. This one apparently was a poem that Emily and I wrote together. So there are some lines that are hers and some lines that are mine, and we took turns weaving it. Pouring energy, a vein into the earth, from the central channel of the self, all the way back to the maternal source. Light falls on eyes sunken. The light has drained down to the feet. Hovering in an eternal wind, the energy cloud gyrates like a spinning top, flitting between moments like flowers. We are honeybees with seemingly unconnected gestures, yet I hear my pain coming from your mouth as the mirror tells me its story.
Very nice. It would appear that Reverend Minui has come up with another one. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, I'll read it for you. It's
I
in
don't
the
think
chat.
he
I
wants to read it.
wasn't sure that was fit for YouTube consumption.
There may be trademark issues, but we'll risk it.
Okay. Ode to Scott. Through the Loom. Haynes. BVDs. Commando. Not wood, not bad.
Didn't you win the internet before? Oh, thank you for your...
Are we going to wind up having to have annual underwear poem day on this site?
That's Scott's fault. I'm sorry.
That's what happens when you don't show up and you send a whole bunch of poetry. So let's see if there's anything else here in the document. We did math. We did the mirror. We did a to-do list. Did I found another one of Scott's. This one's called The Seeker Finds. Upon the canvas of life, karma paints its hue. In each action, the seeds are strewn. Through the cycle of birth, death, and anew. Hey, Song, this is one of yours, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's what happens when you don't put your name on them. I think we have run out of Scott Watson poems.
I have another one of Melintha's that's a good one to either end on or just read.
Okay.
Another beautiful short one. And it goes along well with the theme of some of the folks in this lineage. Attaining rain, I weep on every sentient being.
Okay, I think we may have hit our limit for now. The one thing I would like to do, two things that I'd like to do, is close this with the Heart Sutra. Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajna Paramita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is safe from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness, form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. Mute your microphone, please. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Therefore, in emptiness, no form, no feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and so forth until no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance, and also no extinction of it, and so forth until no old age and death, and also no extinction of them, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva depends on Prajna Paramita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, and dwells in the nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on Prajna Paramita and attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore know that Prajna Paramita is the great transcendent mantra, is the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is true, not false. So proclaim the Prajna Paramita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says Gate Gate Para Gate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Gate Gate Para Gate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Gate Gate Para Gate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. And we can close tonight with the great Bodhisattva vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to help them all. Delusions are countless. We vow to see through them all. Opportunities to awaken are infinite. We vow to embrace them all. The Buddha way is endless. We vow to embody it. So once again, I'd like to congratulate everybody on a happy Vesak. Congratulate you on contributing your poetry in honor of the birth, awakening, and death of the Buddha as it's practiced in Korea and other Asian countries. We're actually on Vesak Eve here, and Minhui was actually on Vesak Day. So again, thank you for coming. Thank you for participating, and thank you for helping to honor the birth, awakening, and death of the Buddha.